Right, here we go guys, it's Croft Race Circuit and it's race number 1 of the year. Well, we start off with qualifying at 11 o'clock today and this will be going live on Alpha Live. If you haven't seen it, I do believe you can also watch it back on their links below for the previous race events. So what we have here is the Cup 200 cars. These are out today, they're 65, 88 and 85. These 3 are racing today. We also have 3 other cars which I'll venture down on the paddock for and show you what they're all about as well. But yeah, we've got 6 in total out on the grid for the start of the season, and there'll be more joining us as they get built throughout the rest of the season. So I hope you enjoy. We'll get some coverage up on board and you can see what these weapons with these Hayabusa powered 1340cc, 205 horsepower, 580 kilos with driver cars go like.
Absolute alignment. Sports 1000 Championship red lights are on and they go out. 2 makes the best of the starts from the front row. The 28 car of Charlie Sladden doesn't get off the line at all, but fortunately everyone manages to get around him. But it's 3 wide for the lead as they head down towards Clairvaux for the first time, and it's Paul Smith that's got into the lead. There's one that's gone straight on. That's the number 5 car of Ed Collins off into the gravel trap at Clairvaux. That's not how to celebrate your birthday. It's not, is it? So very unhappy birthday for him, but it's Paul Smith that's leading then from Dan Clues in 2nd place. Ryan Yarrow is 3rd, and in 4th place it's the 98 car of John Cutmore, the championship winning car from last season then. And then it looks like it's Colin Chapman in 5th place.
Looks like Richard Webb's already got himself up ahead of Dave Watson. The pair of them there ahead of a slow starting Paul Rogers. And those 2 Cup 200 cars are going to go side by side down towards the Essex. I think Webb's just about held on there ahead of Watson. But we've got double wave yellow flags at the start line with that car in the gravel trap. Big flame out the side there of the Cup 200 car. Richard Webb that's very sideways. He's front engine MKs. Doesn't have a local yellow for a recovery up there at Clairvaux. So we're going to have yellow flags all the way from at least the start line, or even from out of the final corner. So drivers will have to be aware of that. But Paul Smith, he was quick in qualifying and he's turned that into a quick opening lap here to the season in the absolute alignment of Sports 1000 Championship.
There we go. So end of lap 1, but they've got yellow flags at Clairvaux corner, of course, so they'll all have to keep a single file past the car that's being recovered down there at Clairvaux. There's Clues in 2nd place. Yarrow in 3rd, B for many a year. So Colin Chapman in his 20th year racing. Paul Rogers has had a bit of a break from this, but they're battling over 5th position here. Both of them in Spires through the Jim Clark S as they go. On towards Barcroft in the background there you can see Richard Webb, who in 7th place is the best of the Cup 200 cars as things stand.
To 9th in 77, and he's going to try and go one better on the inside of Richard Webb. Meanwhile, Matthew Booth, as soon as he gets onto the tail of Richard Webb, has a car around the outside of him and going through.
Who turns into
contact
first?
Yarrow spun in front of everybody.
There's a spin for Yarrow there, so that means it's now Clues that leads. Yarrow's got going again once more. What a couple of laps of his race. So it's Dan Clues that is leading, and is he heading for his first win in the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship? Paul Smith in 2nd place. Ryan Yarrow 3rd with that last spin. Did you see that, Josh? That spin wasn't on his own.
So Yarrow was coming up to the traffic. He dived up the inside. I think the traffic saw him, turned in, and Yarrow clipped the back marker, which spun him round. And what a loss! Saw him turned in, and Yarrow clipped the back marker, which spun him round. And what a loss! What 2 that wins the first Cup 200 race of the season.
Absolutely right. So a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits for Richard Webb.
Right guys, welcome back to Kit Car Duets, MK Sportscars, Atomic Racing and RLM Racing. We're here at Croft and we have Richard Webb here to talk you through the Cup 200 Championship. So Rich, over to you.
How are we doing guys? Yeah, so we've now done our first race of the season and what a race it was. We had 6 cars out on the grid, all cars completed, actually in order where they finished. So first was Matt Booth, 2nd was myself and 3rd was Mr. Watson. Absolutely brilliant race. I finished first on the road with Matt absolutely bumper to bumper over the line. Unfortunately, I was a naughty boy exceeding track limits, so I got a penalty. So well done to Matt, fastest lap of the race. The cars were just inseparable. Dave, unfortunately, just got a little bit unlucky with traffic, which meant he dropped back, he lost the toe. The toe in these cars is really important. But me and Matt just came out grinning from ear to ear. So did the guys. Further down the field was Chris Wilkinson and Carl Alaban. They had a great race. Again, everyone just came out grinning. Already after that, and the footage that's gone online, we've got 8 confirmed cars for Alton Park second round, so it's looking really good. A lot of positive vibes, really good energy. We went testing in the wet on Friday. Me and Dave were the only 2 stupid enough to go out in the last session, which was absolutely torrential. We'll put some footage of that up later on.
And how were they in the timesheets in the wet, Rich?
We were actually second and third to my last year's championship win Inspire. I think we were 6/10 off. The cars in the wet are just so predictable, so much fun. Again, we might have come out wringing wet like we just jumped out of a swimming pool, but again, grinning from ear to ear. The cars are just brilliant fun.
Brilliant fun. And what's your predictions for race 2 and race 3 today at Croft?
Well, Matt was silly enough to leave his car next to mine overnight without any supervision, so I've just, tweaked around with a few things. No, not at all. I think grid positions there, we are on from where we finished the last race. So we are dotted around a little bit. So Matt will be first in the Cup 200s, myself, then Dave, and then moving down, I think, to Chris Wilkinson, Carl Alaban and Alex Alero. But yeah, I don't want to be giving Matt an easy time, and I'm sure Dave doesn't want to give me an easy time. So again, we'll just be following each other around, trying to... my aim in the game is to sit up the back of Matt, try and get a quicker lap than he did yesterday with a little bit of a toe. It does help in these cars, and yeah, ultimately see if I can finish on the road without a naughty boy penalty this time. But yeah, Matt doesn't make it easy. Super fair racer. I was defending a lot yesterday. I only gave him just enough room. Again, you'll see some clips come out on the footage.
Yeah, I think we've got some live data, and also there is the 750 Motor Club do a video of this again. People can watch this online, so and maybe we'll put up a link for that as well online, so people can see how close and how competitive they were. Well, we'll catch you up after race 2.
Sounds good. Cheers, guys.
And out they go, and it's a pretty good start from the second row of the grid there. That's Ryan Yarrow that gets away quite well, and Dan Close. Paul Smith has been beaten to second place. Straight on goes the 43 car of Paul Rogers, and immediately he spins off into the gravel trap in his Spire. That's at the turn into Clervaux corner, so that might need a snatch to recover that one, I suspect. But it was actually Dan Clues that made the best of the starts then. Yesterday's winner leads in his intel from Paul Smith in second, and it's the Spire of Ryan Yarrow.
At the end of the first lap, a great job already done by our Marshall team up there at Clervaux, and they've cleared the car before the leaders are hardly there.
Yeah, as they'll come around there, we'll still see yellow flags because the Marshall's just clearing the circuit. But it is Paul Smith then that leads at the end of lap 1. Dan Clues in second place.
Thomas, it's side by side in Cup 200. Dave Watson keeps himself up ahead, I think, of Richard Webb, and Matthew Booth right there as well. And Johnny McGill just can't find a way past these cars, and they're battling so hard. Yeah, some real quality drivers out there as well. Matthew Booth has been a champion in two different categories. Richard Webb has also been a champion in Sports 1000 Class F a few years ago, and the overall champion last year. They're going to go side by side for the lead here. That's Richard Webb up on the inside of Dave Watson this time. Fantastic stuff. There's hopes that there'll be a full-blown one-make category for these cars in the future. Well, if this is the kind of racing they produce, bring it on, I say. Matthew Booth dropped behind Jonathan McGill there into 9th position. But for Richard Webb, it's all over the back of his mate Dave Watson. Flicker flame as they go down a gear into Sunny. Jonathan McGill's got the best view of all, as he's right involved in that. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think Richard Webb has also kept his car in road-going spec as well. You can see it's got the headlamps on it, which Dave Watson's car doesn't have, which probably doesn't help the aero, but he has got through into the class lead as they came down into the complex that time. Yeah, sideways doing it. They've got a group of cars in there now as well. because Ian Hutchinson, who's going well, he's right behind them. Then Colin Chapman recovering. Phil Hutchins, Daniel Ashby as well. And Chapman's got past Hutchinson, I think. And now he's going to have a go. You can see someone's had a lock-up down there as well. But
Richard, that was Cutmore, actually.
Richard Webb ahead of Dave Watson, who around the outside goes Jonathan McGill. A lot more downforce in the rear engine cars, of course, than the 7S machines. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars, I think, involved in this battle as they go off towards Barcroft. Ryan Yarrow, so a new fastest lap for the driver in second place. So, but still, Smith's going quickly, but we know the traffic was a key factor yesterday, and that's about to come into play for the remaining 5 minutes.
Yeah, and third and fourth is now really close. That's just coming out of Tower Corner. It might be back worth taking a look at a minute, just heading up towards the Jim Clark S's, because Matt Thomas and John Cutmore were right together, only about half a second between them at the start of the lap. But we're watching the battle for second in the Cup 200 class cars at the moment, and it's Booth that's going to get ahead, I think, of David Watson at Tower Corner. Yes, he does.
Top two are nose to tail going into the final corner. So again, traffic has caught out Paul Smith, I think. So the top two are nose to tail.
Paul Smith in second place. Third place should go the way of Matt Thomas. He's just making his way out of the hairpin now. There on screen you can see Matthew Booth pushing on. He's still in second place in the Cup 200. Across the line though, from our comms box window, I can see is 77 Matt Thomas. He takes there, and Johnny McGill will be classified inside the top 6. The best of the Cup 200 cars is just about to come up to the line now as well, and that is going to be Richard Webb. So 2 different winners in Cup 200 so far during the course of this weekend as well, Josh.
Yeah, great motor racing, and battled right down the field to the line.
In the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship, red lights go out now, and not for Paul Smith, because he doesn't get away now. Does everyone manage to avoid him? Thankfully they do. His car just creeping forward, but Paul Smith, after, well, he says he's not really got the hang of these starts for the first 2 races. That's proved the point in race 3. There's the 33 car briefly going off through the gravel trap. That's Daniel Ashby in his Spire, but looks like Paul Smith has not got away at all, I'm afraid, Josh.
No, so Clues is slowing. Oh, he's on the grass, that's why he's slowing. So Dan Clues has made a mistake out of the chicane. So John Cutmore has made a much better start than earlier. Can he go after the leader? Matt Thomas there was having a look at the inside. Colin Chapman, he could not make that work. So a busy start, but yeah, a couple of cars slow away, and thankfully we didn't have any incidents. I think the safety car is being prepared at one of the leaders make their way towards the end of the lap.
Yes, and that's because Paul Smith's car is still stationary just beyond the grid, so it's going to need marshal assistance to move that, so hopefully they will have good sight of that as they come out of the hairpin. Of course, they're still racing up to the point which they see yellow flags, which they should do now on the exit of Sunny. So
there are the top two. There's Rogers going diving down the inside, and the 5 there just about sees him coming. That's Ed Colling, and for second here comes Clues up the inside of Cutmore. Cutmore turns in, and Clues with alongside, and they make contact. And John Cutmore, as he comes across the circuit's been hit, I'm afraid, by Jonathan McGill, so that didn't go well at all. So what happened there was small contact between Clues and Cutmore, as he spun across the track, got hit fairly heftily, and both cars are now on the opposite sides of the racetrack on the grass.
Yes, they are. Jonathan McGill really, I don't think could do a lot about that, because he was confronted by that out of control and damaged car of John Cutmore. Here's Paul Rogers, meanwhile, he's making further progress up the order, and 21 now seems to have a problem as well, and now the red lights are on and the race being stopped, which is not a huge surprise given the damage and that situation up there on the exit of Sunny. So 2 cars stranded there. 5-minute race coming up for the Absolute Alignment Sports 1000 Championship, and it gets underway now. And it's a pretty good start by the Cup 200 car. Richard Webb, as you thought, he might even be level pegging with the lead. In fact, he might get the lead as they head down to the first corner. He is still trying. He's still trying to get around the outside of Ryan Yarrow. He can't quite do it. So it's Ryan Yarrow that's going to lead this race, and it's going to be Carl Austin that's up into second position. And then it's Webb in third, Matt Thomas fourth, Colin Chapman fifth, and 6th is Dan Clues, who's now making a move on Chapman as they head down to Tower.
Ryan Yarrow got all too familiar with Richard Webb trying to get ahead of him last year. Matthew Boover, wondering what he had a problem there. I think it's the mud guard that's come loose. Well, no, the suspension collapsed. I think it's the mud guard that was moving about, it must have been, otherwise we wouldn't have made the corner. But there's Webb then. How can he stay up there? Well, he's got Matt Thomas up over the curbs on the inside of him, and Richard Webb touches the back of Thomas's car because there wasn't much control, I think, there for Matt Thomas as he was sideways. He's got well ahead of Richard Webb anyway, so he's worked his way through really well. But he started originally last. He had a face full of MK there as Richard Webb was sideways, and that is the battle for 5th position because Dan Clues has got ahead as well, and Clues is trying to get himself onto the podium, and Chapman fights back. There's not much space there. Richard Webb's doing his best to get the best overall result possible for this car, but locks up a bit, runs wide, and this is going to give Rogers the inside line. A lot more downforce in the conventional Sports 1000 machines as they go up towards Clairvaux for the penultimate time in this race for 3rd position. Matt Thomas coming under pressure in from Dan Clues, yesterday's winner.
Yeah, Matt Thomas 3rd, comfortably leading the Cup 200 cars in 6th place, just ahead of Colin Chapman at the moment, and a very sideways moment for the car behind him, which is Ed Collins, I think, number 5.
That was pretty well saved for Chris James. He's facing the wrong way coming out of the chicane. He was in 16th position at the highest.
Carl Austin, a great result from him, his best ever result in the championship. Number 44 takes 2nd place, Dan Clues 3rd, Paul Rogers 4th, Matt Thomas 5th, Colin Chapman 6th, and in Cup 200 it's Richard Webb that wins once again from Matthew Booth in 2nd, and Daniel Ashby and Ian Hutchinson.
Okay, so we're here with Richard Webb from Atomic Racing, RLM Racing, and well, the leaders in the championship of the Cup 200 series with the 750 motor cup. So what we're going to do now is hand over to Rich, and he'll talk you through the day.
So 2 races today. We didn't have a lot of time between them. I think we only had about an hour to turn the cars around. So we had race 1. It's quite hard to try and get my head around all the action now in front of the camera, but there was a hell of a lot going on. I think race 1 we had we had some incidents in all of them by the S1000 guys, but the racing between all of us, Dave, his starts are unbelievable. In each race today, he's just got off the line like a scolded cat and gone, and he's put several cars between me and Matthew. We've had to claw it back, which we both managed to do for race 1 today. And then in race 2, unfortunately, there was another big accident in the S1000s coming together with John Cutmore and another car. So we went to a red flag and a restart. Restarted, I managed to get off the line really, really well. Almost led into turn 1, very close with Ryan Yarrows, but we then led from P3, P1 in class. And yeah, we just pulled away from there. The lap times between us again were so similar between me and Matt. I think luckily I just managed to put enough cars between me and him that he couldn't close down the gap. So, but the racing's just been absolutely brilliant. Everyone here has just left with a big smile on the face. Chris and Carl, who were racing a little bit further down the field, were just neck and neck the whole race. Both got out of the cars absolutely buzzing. Brillint. So if you want to know more about the Cup 200 cars, you can either visit our Facebook page, our Instagram page, or our website. All the details are on there. Likewise, just pick up the phone and give us a call to get on the grid. So we've got 8 of these cars going to be out at Alton Park, probably looking like 9 or 10 by mid-season. So yeah, if you want to get involved, give us a shout, fire an email over to us, or just pick up the phone and give us a call and we'll go through it with you.